the fool, the unlearned, the young brother trying to be too deep, one that's trying to seek their own glory, or are proud, will just talk, 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 talk. They will just talk, 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 talk. This is going to be a quick lesson, just microscoping some wisdom. All right, putting some wisdom under the microscope. But before I get into this call, I'm like Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Wahara Chakodash. Double honors to the hopefully like elder apostles, slated to be saved. Lord willing, start with the elder men and the elder bishops at the Great Millstone Church, who I learned this truth from, right, the correct way. Shalom to the Akim out here teaching, according to the scriptures, under the same doctrine, doing what they need to do, in order, believing, and to the rest of the, scattered abroad, and to the rest of the believers, in his faith as well, of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. So, Sirach 5:12, if thou hast understanding, answer thy neighbor. If thou hast understanding, answer thy neighbor. If not, lay thy hand upon thy mouth. And this is something that is easily overlooked, and is more overlooked than often, right? And this is, could be the fall of many, not applying this, not having this, really as an essential. This should be something that should be in your essentials bag when it comes to, willing and dealing and communicating, and interacting. And first and foremost, chiefly, was the point of bringing this out if you're doing a lesson, you'll have a brother, that may presumptuously bring out scriptures or, pretty much go on and speak on something they don't understand, like ill-advisedly, like completely, to the point where it's a shame unto them, which takes me to my next scripture, right? So I'll get that. But, let me just go there now. Sirach 5:13. Honor and shame is in talk. That's exactly what it leads to. Because instead of you simply asking, right, for the understanding, you will just run on talking, to the point you actually even put the lesson together with that being the case, which is not a lesson. And you'll even try to put it out. Like that's nuts. But that's actually what? It's a shame. It's not just a shame because it's brought before us, right? It's a shame unto you because you did it to yourself, and it just happened to be seen amongst us. So it's a shame unto you. So honor and shame is in talk, and the tongue of man is his fall. Simply, So that leads me to my last scripture, which is Sirach 20:27. A wise man shall promote himself to honor. Right. So instead of you using these words to try to get this glory, to try to prove a point, or whatever it may be, right, to try to force yourself to be heard, force the course of the river. It ain't flowing for you, it ain't going that way, right? If that river ain't flowing, you need to go to another one. Go to the one that is. That river is not flowing with the water. If you're not the river that's flowing with the water, you need to go to the river that is. Right? That's not how the course is going for you. But instead of you, doing that, you go against it, right? Which is in the form of you forcibly pushing this word out, trying to make the scriptures go and mean it that, regarding their meanings in ways they don't even go, to try to make this become a video and put it out, when that's not going to be accepted. Like, yeah, there's scriptures. The topic may be correct. You may even be using the correct scriptures. But, like the scriptures say, a wise word will be rejected when it cometh out of a fool mouth, because he will not speak it in, he won't speak it correctly or in due time, roughly paraphrasing. All right? So how about you use your words that, to ask, to get the water you want pouring out, to put the lesson out, to prove the point, to actually get the glory, to be, the only glory that counts, which is the glory that's going to be revealed in us upon Yahweh Shah, through what? Us abiding in him, being according to how he says to do things. This wisdom, according to this wisdom, in which will be the only way you will bring forth fruit, which is the way he will be glorified, and then you'll be glorified, because our life is hid in him. When he receives his glory, when he appears, then our life shall appear, right? So that's the whole point, man. All right, so use your words and all of that for that. But it says, a wise man shall promote himself to honor with his words. But listen, a wise man shall promote himself to honor with his words. So you're only going to do it when you get the wisdom. Period. When wisdom is going to enter into you through the men that, the holy souls that the Lord decided at this point, the souls that the Lord has given that wisdom to, which will be those holy souls, according to Wisdom of Solomon in the 7th chapter, right? And it has made them friends and, prophets, but chiefly the prophets. And that's when you will get exposed to that same spirit, that wisdom, to where it can enter into you. Because they're going to, when you go to these men, they're going to speak, that spirit to you. Period. And then it's going to enter into your ear, and you can bow down your ear, and then you'll receive it, because the wisdom is seen in the form of these men. That's why I said wisdom cried, in the streets. She uttered her voice in the streets, right, and etc. All right, Proverbs, the 1st chapter. So once again, only wise men are gonna be able to promote themselves to wisdom. Why? Because they'll follow the protocol to be able to do so, to achieve that. So quit trying to force the course of the river, and stop not laying your hand on your mouth in moments where you should, right? But it says, a wise man shall promote himself to honor with his words, and he that hath understanding will please great men. See that? So yeah, only those that truly understand and have the understanding are going to be able to do it. Right? People out here every day trying to prove a point, but ultimately no one is pleased, with their sacrifice, truly. People might, act like you doing a good job, but the scriptures don't lie, man. Only people with understanding will please great men. So if these people are pleased, if they're not great, so everybody want to please great men, and the great men start when Yahweh Shah in the congregation, right? That's the great men. So you got to get the understanding first to do that. When you understand what you're talking about, then it'll be pleasing. It won't sound like a screech, someone scratching a chalkboard. It won't be the wise words which are being used, but are without understanding, without the true understanding behind them, being rejected anymore. It won't be that. It'll be accepted once the understanding is there. So that's the point. So Lord willing, that made sense. Call on like how Basham Yahweh Shai. Wahara Chakodash. Shalom.